and you just wait, preparing to live stream the webinar. And you just wait, preparing to live stream the webinar. And then I just want to check something really quick. You just wait, preparing to live stream the webinar. Just want to check YouTube really quickly. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
So just wait, preparing to.
Yeah. So it does seem like that's a more streamlined way to do it.
Yeah, I would like to look into this more.
Yeah.
I'm confused as to why like the method that had worked previously is no longer working.
Right. Because that was the way you had it set up for the ideas webinar, right? You use custom live streaming.
I did, but when I did it, it didn't work.
Oh, that's when your face came up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I like created a whole different Zoom, like a whole different stream, I think. And,
yeah. Okay.
And then it like miraculously ended up working. Yeah, and then adjusted settings later. So like put in the title later after.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. So it may be as simple as
just go live on YouTube.
Go live on YouTube. The thing I will need at my fingertips is the login information, because I'll have to log into the center's YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then it takes a few minutes for it to start.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine, but I don't want to hold up the webinar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I need to look into it more, because I don't even, I don't know why it's not working. Okay. So, do you want to go through the rest of the checklist?
Yeah, let's do that. The other thing, we could reach out to those media guys at HGSC, because they do it, right? I mean, I joined the event yesterday on YouTube.
Right. Yeah, we can do that. Are they like contracted to work with us? Like, do you know what that relationship is? Like, I don't know if they were just being nice, or like if they are supposed to be servicing us.
I have a gut feeling that they are okay with servicing us. They never said anything. Remember, we were like, oh, we're going to need you here that day. They never said anything about not being able to.
He had worked with them before too, so
yeah, that's right. They came over to 50 Church Street and did a lot of work in that multimedia room.
What was his name again?
I think it was Jason.
Okay. Jason, media team.
I think Jason, and then I think Peter is the other guy's name.
Okay. Yeah, I found him. All right. I'll send him an email and see if we can set up a meeting. All right. Okay. So let's keep going.
Okay. So we're at beginning the webinar, right? Yeah. You start the webinar first, and then you do the custom, well, whatever. We'll figure out how to live stream it.
Remember, like when you're spotlighting who, when you're removing the spotlight from certain people, and just making sure that timing is correct.
Hold on one sec. I lost your audio for a second. Where did you go to? Okay. If you're in person, spotlight the stage. We're not going to be in person. If you're remote, spotlight the opening speaker and then stop sharing the opening slide. Okay.
Yeah.
And doing it sounds like it's important to do it in that order.
Yeah, like you don't want yeah, it would be kind of
Otherwise, it'll be a blank screen.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. Yeah. It just
Okay.
it looks neater when you have like two people up there and then you take one away. Then it does like
Yeah.
there and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
And then
So in this case, let me just think this through. So the opening slide is the title slide. I will spotlight Corey and then stop sharing. Okay.
or yeah, what you could do instead is like Corey just turns her camera on and then you take away the
Right. Yeah, because she would already be spotlighted,
yeah, because she's
but
only
her video is off.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Is that
until like she's completely disappeared. And then when she turns her camera on, then you'll just see Corey and the slide. And then you take the
yeah.
slide away, and then you don't have to spotlight Corey because Corey's going to be the only person on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will need to ask Corey to turn her camera on.
Yes. I mean, she should know because like she should have her run sheet up as well. And it should be pretty clear. Also, hopefully, like the rehearsal, like you'll be able to be like, oh yeah, Corey, so you're starting us off. Like when we cue you to begin is like when you turn on your camera, and then yeah. And she like also, how long are you waiting? It's like 5 minutes. So like once you hit the 5 minute mark, then she turns on her camera. You know what I mean?
So she turns her on her camera before I click start webinar.
No.
After.
Unless that's when you want the recordings to start and the webinar to start. Does that make sense? Like if you want her to start speaking as soon as participants are in the room,
Oh, I see.
otherwise
Yeah,
if you want them in the room looking at the slide for like a minute,
okay.
totally fine. Yeah.
Okay, so they'll see the openings. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So we don't want her up right away. I'll start the webinar. They'll see the title slide.
Yeah. And it'll say, please wait a moment for the webinar to begin.
Yeah. And I noticed that a few minutes makes quite a bit of difference. People don't come on right at the hour. Okay, so the title screen is up. We do the custom live streaming or whatever, the live streaming steps.
Yeah.
If we're remote, what I'm going to do is for this one, ask webinar host to turn camera on, right? We don't, I'm not gonna get rid of that spotlight, that part, because there may be a webinar where two people are starting, but because it's only one, I don't need to spotlight her.
Right.
Okay. And stop sharing. So the slide will come down and it'll be Corey's face.
Right.
Check in the group chat, make sure there's no problems. Got it. Oh, you know what we should do in the 15-minute check is make sure we have a group text, right?
Yes. Yeah, that works.
Or I can even do it in the preparation somewhere.
I would do the preparation because that's
Yeah.
what is we shared our numbers like even before, like prior to that day.
Yeah.
And I think I might have put it in here somewhere of collecting. Oh yeah, here it is. So like I'll just add like to that the whoever is running the webinar needs to
Create a group chat.
Create a group chat. And then maybe like when you send the email out, also send out a group text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and then like the rest of the webinar is really just following the run sheet of when you need to turn on
Yeah.
light for different people. And like also troubleshoot if anyone is experiencing any kind of like difficulties like
Mhm,
monitoring that text thread.
mhm.
And then yeah, and then the last thing, if there's like that final slide, is to then just screen share the PowerPoint, because it's not like to like what you're doing on PowerPoint, right? Is like you're fixing it so the toolbox disappears, and then you screen share the PowerPoint and the toolbox is not there. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah. So I set that up first before I share screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be totally fine. Like, yeah, super easy. I think it looks really clean. So,
Yeah.
um,
Here's one other thing. I'm pretty sure Lindsay's going to have slides, and my guess is she'll want to drive them.
okay. I mean, in that case, like maybe one thing that would be helpful is if she then was the one who shared the first slide, and then she took it down and then she put it back up when she's ready to start her presentation again.
Uh-huh.
If I mean, that's if she wants like that kind of control. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, like what she could do on her end is have her own PowerPoint up and then click on those different settings so that when she shares her slide, she also doesn't have that toolbox on top.
Right. So in order, if she wants to drive her own slides, but doesn't want to deal with the opening and closing, she needs to set it up in presentation mode beforehand, and then as a panelist she can share her screen, right? I think that was actually an option.
Um, I I don't know for sure. I'm confused. Wait, so she should not, like, it's not present mode. It's not present mode. It's just
Oh,
like you turn it so that the toolbox disappears within settings. And then when you hit play on your PowerPoint, it's not going to, it's not going to like fill up your entire screen like the PowerPoint does, like, when you're regularly, because the setting is now changed. So you can have that PowerPoint on one side and then the screen on the other.
oh, right.
Yeah. But you'll see, like in the YouTube videos I sent you, you'll see.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor, since you're the host, can you click on the more and see if it gives you the option of allowing panelists to share screen? I think I remember seeing that.
um, um, okay, it looks like you can have them unmute themselves, rename, or start video. What we could do with Lindsay is just make her a panelist instead of a participant, or instead of or not a panelist, but a
A
co-host.
host. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a limit to the number of hosts that there could be?
I don't think so.
Okay. If need be, I can just make someone else and not a co-host, make them a panelist, and
Right, right.
okay. I think that I think I think we probably both have hit the wall in terms of like what we can walk through
Right.
right now.
I'll get in touch with Jason.
Okay.
Because I feel like the questions, like particularly pertaining to YouTube live stream, he'll be able to like let us know within 5 minutes versus
Agreed. I think it's going to be easy for him to do that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then what else do we need to do?
Like today or
Yeah. I think we have time at 4:30. Oh, I have a meeting with Madeline actually at 3. Whew. What I was thinking we could use that time for would be to figure out what kind of what kind of training or resources the team needs, the support team, and who probably should go into what role.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And there was like one other thing though, in terms of the webinar. It'll come to me by 4:30, I'm
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
All right. We'll each go take a little break and then I'll see you at 4:30.
Sounds good.